Hello. Hello, how's everyone doing today? This is Jan Boydston, and this is my site. And I was wanting to talk to you a little bit about retinol today. So, I've been kind of wanting to do that, but, life gets busy and how things go. But I thought today was a good day. Retinol can become a puzzle for people. Some people love it, no big deal. They've been using it, it's been around a while. Other people that go, retinol, I don't know. I've heard people go use retinol and their skin gets all dry and red and starts acting up and everything. So my hair's kind of funky today, but we're going to go with it right there, right? Anyway, it is what it is. But I started using retinol last year and I really like it. I like the effect it has on my skin. So I thought we'd talk briefly just about what is retinol, what does it do, and then if you're going to use it, how should you use it? That's the key to try to avoid some of these problems that folks folks tend to have. And one of the things is men and women can both use retinol. We all have skin cells. We're all aging, slowly, fast, quickly, whatever. But anyway, I hope this will help a little bit. But retinol. This is the retinol that I use, and it has a calming milk with it, and we'll talk about it in just a minute. You can see I've really used it. I'll show you a fresco in a minute, but let's talk about what retinol is and why you might decide that you'd like to use it. Retinol is basically a form of vitamin A. It's in the vitamin A family. Retinol is in carrots and it's in liver and it's in fishy oils, it's in fish oils, oily fish, I guess is what I was trying to come up with. It's in all kind of natural things. So, okay, so if it's a vitamin A, why do we need to add it to our skin? I think eating sources of good vitamin A is a great idea. Also, the broccoli and all those kind of vegetables also is a great source of vitamin A. So eating vitamin A is important. But here's the key. As we age, our skin cells begin to turn over a little less frequently. When we're in our 20s, our skin cells may be turning over every 3 or 4 days. They don't like turn over all at once like a Venetian blind. We have many, 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 many skin cells. And you think about that, our face is just a collection of skin cells. So they're turning over, differently all the time. And that's the reason we exfoliate our skin, to get rid of those dead skin cells. But also, if the new skins are being made less frequently and that turnover is a little slower, then our face begins to look a little duller. And just like it's just like before you exfoliate your skin and after you exfoliate your skin, if you're an exfoliator, which I am, the skin can begin to look a little dull. And then if I use something like a microdermabrasion or a chemical or any other kind of physical mask, like a charcoal mask, which I use sometime, I may do that tonight. Any of those things will remove those dead skin cells. But we still have the problem of the cells turning over much more slowly as we get older. And also collagen begins to be kind of reduced within our skin, and it makes the elastin, not as tight. I guess that's the best way to put it. You know how elastic is. We used to wear elastic in our pants, and after you wore them a while, they would just kind of, you couldn't really hold them up. Well, that's kind of what's happening to our faces. We have elastin in our face naturally, and we have collagen in our face naturally. But as we get older, all that changes. So what retinol does is when you apply it to your skin, it actually stimulates new cell growth. So it's trying to offset that problem we have of cells not turning over quite as quickly. It tries to help with that a little bit. It also stimulates the production of collagen. I think that's the things we hear about most, this relationship between retinol and collagen. And there is a relationship there. I'm going to get a sip of water if you don't mind. It's a casual deal, and I tend to cough when I talk. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, so retinol, great source of vitamin A. And this is interesting. You may not be this interested in retinol, but when retinol is applied to our body, or I guess if we ingest it, it does this too. Proteins that are in the form of enzymes convert that into a type of retinic acid or something like that. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that correctly, but it converts it into a very mild acid, and or at least portions of it. And that kind of what is helping this regeneration of these new cells. I'm sure I don't understand that the way a chemist does, but I thought it was interesting that there is a conversion process of retinol through this enzyme that converts it to something else that helps us once again build new skin cells. And I don't know precisely how all that works, but I do know it's vitamin A, and I do know it'll help us stimulate new skin cell growth, which is what I'm after. And I'm also after the collagen, that it isn't collagen itself. It helps build collagen within our skin. That's what I'm after, and that helps with the elastin. Helps to keep the elastin in my face for not looking like old worn out elastic. Uh, Even though I feel like sometimes it is, but it is what it is. So anyway, if you decide it's something you want to use, then the key is, how do I use it? How do I use it? So here's all the steps that I've learned and the steps that I've utilized on how to use it. As you come to my page, you see that I do sell Mary Kay, but whatever you use, I'm really wanting to have skin talks here. So whatever it is that you use, that's what we're talking about, any type of retinol. Now, the product Mary Kay has, there's a fluid ounce here, and it's a 0.5% retinol. So I looked that up and read about that a little bit to find out, okay, how much retinol are we getting? It is pure retinol that we are getting here. And, at this 0.05%, 1% is the highest level of retinol you can buy without a prescription. So 0.5% is a pretty good dose. So what Mary Kay has done, and I think it's really smart, is they have a retinization process that's 8 weeks long. And there you can introduce the retinol to your skin in a way that your skin can begin to adapt to it, feel comfortable with it. It can do the things that you want it to do, but it won't do the things that you don't want it to do. So what are the things retinol might do that you wouldn't be happy with? Retinol can cause dryness and kind of a scaliness. Some people have kind of breakouts with it. It can cause a little bit of redness, but I didn't have any of that. And so I think this retinization process is a pretty good way to go, especially if you've never used retinol, you're kind of afraid of it, but you'd like those benefits, that whether you're younger and want to prevent aging, want to make sure your collagen production stays up and that skin cell turnover is effective. You think of it kind of like a machine, a factory. It's always making new skin cells, and you want that system to work effectively. And then use an exfoliant to get those old skin cells off there. And then use a moisturizer to take care of the new skin cells you got. So that's the process to a brighter, healthier skin, regardless of what our age is. And you can use this to prevent aging. You can use it to reverse the signs of aging, which is great, because I had not used retinol until about the last year and a half or something. And I've been really pleased with the results. So once again, how would we use it? I'm just going to tell you how to use it, and then I'll show you the product that Mary Kay offers. And I think it is a nice combination of products. It's 2 products, as I just showed. But once you cleanse your face, whatever cleanser that you use, I use the Time Wise Repair. I've switched from the Time Wise Age Fighting that's in the Miracle set to the Time Wise Repair. And I've done that because I've just crossed another threshold of aging, and so I thought, well, let me step up my game a little bit. So that's what I've been doing. And the Time Wash Repair in Mary Kay is the real top of the line. It can repair damage we've already got from the sun and things like that, things we may not have done all of our life to take care of our skin. If we're starting to get some little, skin spots, dark areas on our face, and a little bit of discoloration, it helps with that. And the retinol does too. So that's why I've decided to make the decisions that I have made. So when you cleanse your face, you should wait. Wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Wait until your face is completely dry. And I must admit, I've not always done that. And I think that's a very important step. I think it's better. Retinol will soak in to your face if it's dry. I mean, that makes perfect sense. Instead of just kind of sitting on the surface up here where it might start to irritate some of the cells. So in this product, you use a pea size. I mean, that's the beauty of this. I've had this for well over 6 months. How often do I use retinol? Well, now that I've gone through the whole retinization process, I could use it 3 to 5 times a week. Do I know? I use it probably about twice a week. And so pea size, everybody knows what an English pea looks like. I have a funny story about that, but I won't waste your time. 1 pump is what it takes. And that's larger than a pea size, I would say. Let's get this. I'm always struggling with the direction on this thing. Larger than a pea, I would say. It's a pretty healthy size pea. And I'm not going to use it right now. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it on my hands. Because, hands are another place where we really start seeing wrinkling and things like that. And I don't ever think of putting retinol on my hands, but that's what I'm going to do today. And what you would do is if you put it on your face, I mean, that was a pretty good healthy amount. And you would just dot it. You would put a dot here, you would put a dot here, you would put a dot here, you would put a dot here. You're mainly trying to get it on your face. Now, I go ahead and use it on my neck too, but a lot of people say that is necessary, that this face is the main thing you want really good coverage for. And I guess I've said in other videos I've done, use your ring finger when you're doing the circling. Circling is what I was going to talk about. Don't pull down on it. Gravity does this. It's a strong force, doesn't need our help. So you want to go up in circles, up in circles, up in circles. And you want to rub it in. Once again, you want it to get down into these layers of your skin the best you can, the best you can. Now, if you were just starting to use retinol, I'll talk about the retinization process in a minute. You would dilute this. And that's the next product we're going to talk about. Mine has worn off on the top. It's called Clinical Solutions Calm and Restore Facial Milk. And this is the beauty. This is what is keeping our skin that are using this product from getting irritated from the retinol that we're using. So we'll go ahead and jump into the retinol process. But okay, so what is this milk? It's a combination of 4 different oils. It's got olive oil in it. It's got safflower oil in it. It's got jojoba oil in it. It's got another kind of oil in it that when you know it, I don't remember it at the moment. But when I open up the box, it'll tell me that. And it's worn off the back because I have used it so much. And like I say, it lasts a long time. I mean, this is a very large bottle and you only use 1 pump of it too. So if I was brand new to retinol, never had used it before, was just starting out, I would do something different than what I just did. I would take 1 pump of this, the retinol itself, and I would take 1 pump of the calming milk. 1 pump. I hate this thing. I'll get used to it. 1 pump. Isn't that funny? Okay. It's also about the size of a pea. Feels very milky. And I would mix that together, maybe in the palm of my hand or on my fingers. I would mix it together. This is the first time that you've ever used it. So you're diluting it 1 to 1, 1 to 1. And you would only use it 1 time a week. And you would put that on your face, just like we just talked about. I'm going to put that on my hands. And once a week, that's what you would do for 4 weeks. Except after week 1, I'll get the little paper out in a minute, but I think I remember this correctly. After week 1 of a 1-to-1 dilution rate, I'm going to check on this. I want to make sure we get this right. But the gradual use of it is that then you would use 1 pump of this, followed by 1 pump of this. So that's the way you start using it. First, you dilute it 1-to-1. You use that for a period of time. Then you dilute it. You don't dilute it. You put the 1 dot. You rub it in. Then you use the calming milk. You put that on, and you really want to do your retinol treatments at night. A retinol face can be sensitive to the sun, so it's not a good idea to do it first thing in the morning. You want to do it at night. And do you want to use a moisturizer on top of this? Some women do, some women don't. I always do. I really love a moisturizer, and for me, the milk kind of soaks in after a while, but you can reuse the milk. That's the beauty. You can use it if you see a little irritation the next morning or throughout that first week. The facial milk is the way to go. And let's make sure we get this right. Let's go ahead and open a box. This is the beautiful box it would come in. I'm so glad I got that figured out. You know, it's ridiculous that I can't seem to get this going the right way. And whenever you get it, you get instructions, clinical solutions. This is called Amplify Your Age Fighting. And here's the retinol. Here's the retinol. And here's the clinical solutions. And you actually have an 8-week chart on the back. And I did use that. I thought that was a great idea. So it's going to tell me here exactly what we're going to do. That we're going to use it. This little guy's going to tell me. This is the other little thing in there. I was looking at this just before I got on. Sorry for the little stop. Okay, weeks 1 and 2. I knew there was more than once. So for the first 2 weeks, you dilute it 1-to-1 with the facial milk. And then for weeks 3 and 4 is where you do 1 pump, full strength of the retinol in your face, and then followed by the 1 pump of the calming milk. And then after that, week 5, you can go to you use it the same way, followed by the pump, the same procedure, the pump of concentrated, the pump of calming milk over it. But now you could do it twice a week, but not until you get to week 5. So you can do that week 5 and week 6. And then by week 7 and week 8, you can use it 3 to 5 times a week. That's what they said. You know, I've never done it 5 times a week. I ought to try it. Like, so do it twice a week, try it 3 times a week, and then 4 times a week, and then 5 times a week, just see how I like it. But it always says continue to use the calming milk, not as a dilution, but to follow it. Because if you think about all those oils are going to offset any kind of dryness that you might have. You know, if retinol is going to tend to dry your skin, then having 4 of those oils together is really going to offset that. And then if you follow it with a moisturizer, I think you're set. And that's exactly what I did. And I didn't have any kind of problem with it at all. So that's what I want to talk about. There's nothing to it. Sorry, I kind of stumbled on how long it was. I thought I remembered that we did it twice, but I just couldn't remember because I remember there's 4 weeks that you use it, and then you can kick it up to using it twice a week. So 4 weeks for once a week. And then, you know, you can kick it on up week 5, week 6, and then week 7, week 8. You can increase the amount of times you use it each week. But it's a great product. I absolutely love it. And when I said you want to follow it with a sunscreen, you do. You know, I use something called a CC cream as my foundation. I love it. It has all kind of age-fighting benefits too, and it has an SPF 15 in it. But I've read online as to whether that is sufficient for when you use your retinol, and it isn't, that it's recommended that you would still use a real sunscreen. Now, Mary Kay has, and I'm sure I actually know there are others, because when I've been down, my brother and I got to go snorkeling this spring, or this last spring, not this year, but last year, down in the Bahamas. And, anytime you're in reef areas or, special habitats and you're going to go snorkeling, you have to use a mineral zinc oxide based sunscreen. So we certainly bought some. We didn't want to do anything to hurt the tropical fish. They were so beautiful, by the way. But Mary Kay has just come out with a mineral based zinc oxide sunscreen. It works completely differently than the chemical sunscreens do. Now, I'm not saying that you have to use this if you're going to use retinol. You certainly don't. But you need to use some type of sunscreen other than just what might be in your foundation or any other product. You want to make sure you've got at least an SPF 30. Now, some people use 40 and 50. I'm not able to do that. But one of the Mary Kay products that I also use is there's a day cream that I use, and it has an SPF 30 in it. So I feel like between the SPF 30 and then when I use the CC cream on top of that, the SPF 15, I am getting enough sunscreen protection. But let's just say that you weren't going to do that and you wanted to do a retinization process, especially during that first 8 weeks, where your skin is adapting to increased collagen production, increased cell turnover. There's some chemistry that's going on in there that hasn't been going on in there. So there are things happening with those skin cells, which is good. But you want to protect your skin while those changes are happening. So this mineral-based sunscreen, the zinc oxide, really is a real barrier and would be a great combination. The one that Mary Kay sells is only $28, and it does work as a barrier that the UVA and UVB rays really don't penetrate your skin cells at all. So in a chemical type of SPF sunscreen, it works differently, where the UVA and the UVB rays do hit the cells. So you don't have this barrier of the zinc oxide cream. But when it hits the cells, it chemically changes what's going on. So it isn't causing the skin cell damage. And the sun, protecting ourselves from the sun is so important, so important. I've read just recently, and I'd heard it before, that we can reduce 80% of the effect of signs of aging from the sun to our face. In the rest of our body, it's a little less than that. But 80% of the skin aging we see on our face has to do with environmental damage of some type. 20% has to do with genetics. So, some people have great skin and some of us have to work a little longer. But the point is, protecting your skin is good. If you're worried about aging, the best thing you can do is to use sunscreen on your face with a good SPF 30 at least. So those are the main things I wanted to talk about, because I thought it was important when we talk about retinol to talk about sunscreen too, because you wouldn't want to dash off in whatever retinol product you were going to use to start using it and not really know you need to really be protective of your skin during that time, and then start having problems and you didn't know why. It's because it probably isn't the retinization process you're going through. It's probably because you didn't have a sunscreen on too, as you had out in the day. So I think that's important fact to know. I'm going to go here because I think this is taking longer. I was trained as a scientist. That's the reason, details, maybe more than you want to know. But the chemistry is all really interesting to me. And I know I didn't get that conversion part about the enzymes and the retinol just right, but I thought it was a fascinating thing that happens within our body. The last little thing I want to talk about is dry lips. Lips, they're so different than the rest of our face. You would think it was just exactly like the rest of our face. but it isn't. It doesn't have that rapid turnover of skin cells the way the rest of our body does. And so these are so sensitive here. Our lips are so sensitive. So I use the Mary Kay Satin Lips. It's a two-step process. And the beauty is that the scrub process that we use is simply a sugar scrub. Not going to hurt you. Just sugar, and it's certainly got, emollients and things in it, but you just use it and use it and get all those dead skin cells off. I did that today, and I didn't even need lipstick on. It changed the color of my lips enough that I didn't even feel like I had to put lipstick on. That was the difference I saw. I thought, I was going to put lipstick on, but if you're putting lipstick, on top of your lips, when it's got all those dead skin cells on it, you may actually feel it. If you feel like when you put your lipstick on that it's hitting a rough spot, it's time to exfoliate your lips so that your lipstick will go on smoothly. And after you do the scrub, the sugar scrub, you just wash that off. You don't have to use a lot of water. You just basically wash that off. Worried about my hair again. And then you use this wonderful shea butter balm. And the shea butter balm is the best. And it's just exactly what it said. It's just a wonderful balm for the lips. And after you just exfoliate your lips, just like if you had exfoliated your skin, you're going to soothe those lips. And see, it brightened my lips up again already. So on days that you're going to exfoliate your face, I would like to remember this more. Exfoliate my lips. One of my friends said during the winter season, when you're feeling your lips being dry, go ahead and exfoliate every day or every other day if you want to. So I don't know if I'll do it that often, but it is important. I thought these things were kind of important, whether it's issues with your face itself, dry lips, or protecting our skin from the sun. I think those are three very important things we can do. It's beginning to be spring, but it's still a little wintry, and our skin tends to be drier. And so it's good to take care of our skin. So please don't hesitate, to ask any questions. If you want to subscribe to my site, that would be really great. I hope whatever you use on your face, that you'll take care of it. To cleanse your face twice a day, moisturize it twice a day. And if you decide you wanted to use a retinol, follow some kind of a retinization process. So your skin's not all irritating, you're disappointed. And you'll start saying, I tried retinol and I couldn't use it. Well, I think using it the right way is really important so you get the benefits of it. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Y'all take care of yourself. Have a great evening and a great week. It'll be Friday tomorrow, and I'll see if I can end this stream. It's always a little bit of a trick. Bye.